Hello everyone, this is going to be episode number 10 of the Seb Ahmed podcast. Today we're going to talk about relationships and later about breakups as well and how to get over breakups. So stick through the whole video because even if you are not in a breakup right now, at some point you have to go through it and you need to have the knowledge before it happens. So, you can go through it better.
So I was about to edit the episode right now, right? And what I noticed and what I thought about during the video is that we said something in the intro that the topic for this episode is going to be relationships and breakups. But what actually happened is very interesting, and the talk we went into was not exactly on topic, it was kind of a side topic, and we talked about a lot of interesting things. So it's not going to be exactly only about relationships and breakups. It's going to be actually a much more interesting talk, and it's going to be something that you are really going to enjoy. It's not going to be exactly on the topic of relationships and breakups, but it's going to be a very interesting talk, and you're going to really enjoy it.
And today we have two special guests. We have Ava and Seb's brother. So they can introduce themselves for the people that don't know them.
Hi, I'm Ava. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Belgium. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Hey there, I'm Emil. I'm Seb's older brother. I'm 25 years old, and also I'm grateful that you invited me to be on your podcast.
Let's start with relationships on advice on how to be a better person in a relationship. So
Who
Ahmed,
wants to start this one? Me?
yeah, do you have any questions?
Well, if you want me to start it, I can kick it off with my first point. If you want me to
Go ahead.
just start it. So, my first point, which is probably the most important about relationships, is that both people need to be bringing value. And this is not only for relationships with women, this is also for friend relationships. And bringing value from both is key because otherwise it's kind of like finessing or like using the other person. So both need to be bringing some kind of value. Let's say in a relationship with a woman, as a man, you need to be bringing money in, you need to be paying for all the things, in my opinion. You need to be the protector and you need to be the leader of the relationship, in my opinion. That's how it's going to last the longest and how it's going to be the most stable for the whole time. So from the woman also there needs to be value back because otherwise if you're giving her all the things and then she's giving you nothing back, then that's kind of like simping, which we talked about in the last episode, and that is not a good thing. So she also needs to be bringing value to you. She needs to be helping you with things and she needs to be doing her job in the relationship. And these are things that you need to talk about, like who's gonna have what jobs, who's gonna do what, because both need to be doing things. It cannot be only one bringing value or only one doing everything.
Okay. I'll let the guests go first. Ava?
Well, I think you should value yourself first, and also value your partner in a relationship. So yeah, value is like really important in a relationship with your partner, friends, family, like in every aspect. Um, so yeah, it's really important.
Okay. Emil?
Mm, I agree. I cannot disagree. You have a point there, Ahmed and Ava, but you're missing one most important thing, not only in relationships between like man and a woman, but in any relationship. It's called respect. Um, I'll explain. For example, you have a relationship, you're dating a girl for like 1, 2 years, doesn't matter, but uh, you're talking about giving something and having something back from that person. That's not what respect is all about. Uh, you can give something and have something back, not only in a relationship. You can also use a person with same strategy. Give something and then just wait till he gives you something back. Like that's the purpose on why you're giving something. In a relationship, if you respect each other, you're not waiting till she or he will give you something back. You're just giving it willingly because you respect him and also because you love him in your relationship. You are giving everything without waiting for him or her to give back. It's like a love and a respect that each mother has for its children. They are willingly giving everything. If it needs, they'll give their own life. Can they give their own life and wait after that you will give your own life back? Mm, I don't think so. So that's what I mean by respect. You must respect anyone that you are valuing and considering uh, as a person that you love, that you need him to be in your life. Doesn't matter if it's a relationship, if it's a relative, a friend, even a colleague. If you respect a colleague uh, at work and you don't wait till he gives something back, uh, but you know he respects you the same way that you respect him, that's the only way that you can co-work for like years, decades, and your business, your job will go move and on till you die, but your business will move on if your children will inherit the same respect that you had to each other. Same thing in the relationships. Like if you have respect to each other, your kids in the future will see that you respect each other, and that mutual respect will they will inherit it, not just because they're your children, like in their genes, something like that, but because they live through that every day. They see how their parents are respecting each other in every way. They have compromises. That's why they don't argue, they don't fight every day, because of that respect and of those compromises, there are no fights, and their children are in a safe atmosphere at home. They don't need to run away from home to their friends because they feel unsafe, or they feel like no one uh, understands them in their family, something like that. It's also like raising your kids. First, you must raise yourselves in a relationships. Then you can be ready to raise your kids. If you lack that respect in your life, you won't be able to be stable in anywhere you go. Doesn't matter. So I think by the expressions that I see on your faces, I don't see Ava's. I would like to hear her out, but I think that you agreed already that respect is the most important thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
Respect
because
is.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, I want to say, just to go back to my point. Yeah, respect is incredibly important, and the relationship cannot function without it. And the thing that I said about value is more like you don't give it because you expect something back. You give it because you want to give it, because the other person deserves it. And then when you see that you are receiving value, you should remind yourself, okay, I need to do this as well for the other person. I cannot be just here, getting this from the other person. I need to give something back. And that also comes from respect.
Yeah,
Sure,
I
of
think the
course.
same way. I'm sorry for cutting you
Yeah,
off.
no, 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 no. If you have something to say,
So, yeah, valuing yourself or someone else is kind of on the same line as respect. Because it starts with valuing yourself or someone else. If you have that, you're going to automatically respect yourself and also the others around you. As Seb's brother said, your environment is like really important, because if they're going to show you how to respect others, you're also going to pick that up. So that's also why it's really important to surround yourself with good people.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the main mistake that people do right now, especially at this time. Like, I'm 25. I've seen life before, like my brother and Ahmed was born even. Uh, I saw the values and the respect that was in the past and that it is now, these days. Big difference, a very big difference. I think it's mostly because of the internet. Uh, People have more access to knowledge about respect. Even our podcast. One day, if it will be that very famous and people have access to it, like a lot of people. I'm not talking about hundreds or thousands. I'm talking about millions. It will also like uh, from one way it will damage some relationships, because if a man or a girl knows something about each other's thinking, like how a girl thinks or how a man thinks in a relationship, it can be helpful for a couple that has problems in a relationship, and it can damage a relationship that has no problems.
Can you explain more
Um,
what you mean with that it
for,
can damage a relationship with no problems?
for example, um, excuse me one.
Ahmed and Sebastian, what do you think?
Well,
Oh, I can see how that can happen because, for example, like when you see something about the other gender and you hear how in other people's opinion it is and how most people work, because in the podcast we usually talk about generalities, and when you learn about how most women think, you might think your woman thinks the same way and some problem could occur there, but she could be a bit different from the other girls, and that's, it depends on how you take it, how you process the information.
if a relationship that is lacking respect and they realize that they're lacking, they might need time to, time from each other to find the respect for themselves first before, like, you cannot respect somebody if you don't respect yourself, first of all. So, and a relationship that doesn't have problems, I'm not that I'm not that sure of how can that affect that type of relationship. So I would like to hear my brother's point on that first. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure I know what he means.
respect in
Uh,
general. Oh yeah, he's gone.
I'm here. Sorry. Uh, I did that on purpose, just to hear your opinions. Yeah, you understand it in your own way. That's the main reason why there are many problems at these days in a relationships, because everyone has its own opinion on what they are doing and what they have in a relationship. Um, just one question. Do you know what self-preservation means?
Not me.
For example, if one monkey does something, the other monkey follows.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's
Um,
happening on social media.
yep. That's the point. Um, and in a relationship, there's a thing called trust. And nowadays, a lot of people misunderstood self-preservation and trust. They are they think that if I have trust issues, I must do what everyone is doing, just to be safe, just not to be caught up again in mine or someone else's mistakes in a relationships or somewhere else. For example, if I have a relationship and I don't trust my girlfriend and I don't even know why, she she didn't even give me a reason so that I could think that she can be cheating on me or that I cannot trust her. She didn't give me a reason, but this internet gave me a reason that look at her behavior. If she's behaving like that, that means she's cheating. And the guy is just like um, he's thinking that she didn't do anything that I will think about her like that. I will mistrust her. But the internet says this, and she's behaving like that, which means she might be cheating. I must investigate that. Or most people are just like breaking up because I saw that on the internet. Your behavior is like that. No, I don't need you. Goodbye. Yeah, and that's not trust, that's self-preservation. And that's the main mistake. That's what I mean by the internet is damaging most of the relationships nowadays. But that's not the internet thing. That's not the fault of the podcasts or what they talk about in the internet. It's like the one who's accepting this information. It's his fault. It is um, it's like Lil Pump's music. It's the way how you accept it. If you accept it very like Себастьян, как сказать, близко к сердцу?
If you take it personally.
Yeah, if you take his songs very personally, you might just end up suing the artists of the song when it doesn't even
Yeah.
concern you straightly.
I think it's also the mindset people have. Like
Yeah,
you can see things on social media or like in real life, but it's the way you think about it that's really important. Like if you have a mindset like of improving yourself and being a better version, stuff like bad stuff on social media might not even affect you because you have like a mindset that's like positive, you know?
So,
yeah, I agree.
in my opinion, is that it's like constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is
Yeah,
like an insult. You can take it the wrong way, you can take it personally and say the person insulted you. But for example, if I tell you, oh, you might need to learn more about this, I don't want to insult you. I'm telling that's probably a good idea for you. It's a suggestion. Same way about the podcast or internet giving you relationship advice. It's your choice to take it and apply it to your relationship, or you have your own choice. Go investigate for yourself and see for yourself before you apply the knowledge you learn.
That's
sure.
true.
Sebastian, you know, but I don't know if guys know. There's an artist in Russia. His name is Morgenstern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Lil Pump, something like that in America. He's a rapper that makes very controversial songs, and I like his songs. Not the words, not the clips, but the songs. The songs are really good. Like if you like rap, you like it. Doesn't matter what is he's
Speaking about in the song.
reading rapping. Yeah, but uh, one of my coworkers they asked me why do you listen to his songs? He's very controversial. Like he's a bad person. Why are you listening to his songs? Um, I just told him that they told me that if your kid is gonna listen to his songs, will you approve that? I just told him that listen, um, I'm aware that you are listening to some songs which artists are like ex pedophiles. in the past. So does that make you a pedophile also if you listen to his songs? And if my son will take personally everything that is in the song, and if the artist that is writing the songs is responsible for raising my child, that means I'm a bad father. Because I didn't teach my son how to accept the information from the environment, from the internet, to have his own opinion on things. Because if you are asking me about these things, that means like someone else's opinion, the environment, and the internet, they own you. That means you're not, you are a human, but you're not a human. Why? Because a human must have his own opinion, but you're a human by anatomy. And in anatomy, human is also an animal. Is considered an animal, like the highest level of animals. It's a human. Like if you don't have your own opinion, you can be considered as an animal. That is the animal's name is a human. Like the dog is also an animal, but we call it a dog. I don't know. Cat is a cat, but it's also an animal, but we call it a cat.
Yeah.
So that we can have differences between animals. And if you don't have your own opinion, that means you're just an animal that is called a human. But if you have your own opinion, that means you're not degrading to your monkey.
Stage of
The
evolution.
Yeah, you are the evolution. You're not the monkey anymore. You're not the animal anymore. The difference between us humans, animal humans, and the other animals, that we have our own opinion and we can change our own history. We don't do things on instincts. Because if we do, that means that we're not evolutionizing, we're degrading. And nowadays, some people that know how to use internet properly, some of them use internet for making money. Some people use the internet for I don't know, study well, or even if they cheat on the exams because of the internet, they still use the internet for their own good. They're not gonna swipe reels on the exam.
They won't, yeah.
Yeah, because these type of people, they know how to use the internet right. But
So do you
that's the
think
only.
it's a good thing to use the
Go.
internet in that way?
Um, I just want to say that if 100%, only 20% of people know how to use internet properly and the right way. The other, they have this self-preservation thing because of the internet. Why? Because of their parents. Why? Because their parents don't teach their kids how to use internet and how to accept the information properly. Because if they did, there would be a lot of people now on this podcast or any other podcast that would discuss this thing. But what do your the people your age, your friends are doing right now at this moment? They're playing FIFA, they're swiping reels, they're making stories, um, they're doing stuff that is not very important, not only in their lives, but just not important. Just a waste of time. Yeah, you can swipe reels, you can do stories just for fun, but you must have like in one day there are 24 hours, 8 hours, like at least you must sleep. You have 16 hours left In these 16 hours, you must know what hours are for reels, or I don't know, stories for fun, and other hours for your self development, for your work, for your training, I don't know, for your fitness, yoga, for your family, friends. You must be disciplined for that. And you cannot be disciplined, you cannot be born disciplined.
Yeah.
Someone must teach you, show the way to be disciplined. Someone must lead by example. And these people that lead by example, this is called parents. Parenting is leading by example because you had your own experience. If you had mistakes, you can lead by example by telling your kids about your own mistakes.
That's true. Parents have a big impact on their kids and how they would develop in the future.
Yeah. And nowadays, there are two types of parents, and they're both are active. They're both active. Mother and father, they're both on one side, they're active, and internet on the other side is also active.
Yes, it's back to processing the information thing. Here on the podcast and on any other podcast, they can give you advice and they can give you what they think, but then it's up to you to think, okay, this is reasonable. I'm going to see for myself if this is actually like that. Or you can just say, no, I don't believe this. Or you can say, okay, I believe this and I will just trust this without having any of my own experience. And everyone will have the consequences for what he's doing. Maybe what he's doing is good, maybe what he's doing is bad, but that is fully controlled by them. That we say doesn't mean you have to do it, but if you want to do it and it helps you, then that's good for you.
Sure, of course. Did you, just for example, did you hear me saying that you must not do it? No, I'm not
Yeah.
teaching. Yeah, I'm not even giving an advice to any one of you. I'm just telling the facts. Yeah, that's the main purpose here. We we cannot even give someone an advice because someone can tell that you're not experienced, you're not old enough to give me an advice. Okay, the four of us, I'm the oldest. Maybe I can, but still I don't. Why? Because experience is not only by age, and age is also not only by experience. I know some people that like they are 14, 15 years old, but they're more smarter, they're more experienced than me in some things that are important in life. So I can give an advice to my brother, but I cannot give an advice to Ahmed or Ava because I don't know their experience. So that would be not fair. That's why I'm talking only about examples and talking about only facts. And the way how you accept the way how you accept the information that I'm giving to you.
Yeah, that's true. And also, as you said, Sebastian is your brother, so you're giving him advice as an older brother. Giving advice is mostly like will mostly be accepted, I think, if it's like family related or like if it's your friend or something. Because if someone that you don't know is giving you advice, you're gonna be like thinking, why are you giving me advice? You don't even know me. You know, it's gonna be like not the same as if you receive it from a family member or a friend.
Sure. And even though if it's not a family member, um, it's better to accept an advice from a person that achieved something that you're trying to achieve.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
He's
true.
already there. He's already there, and you're climbing up. You're on
Mm-hmm.
halfway. You're on the stairs, but he's on the top. You can scream from the stairs and ask him, and he will tell you. And most probably you will believe him because you see that he's there. If he's there, that then he knows how to climb there.
Yeah, looking up to people that are better than you is a good thing to do because they have achieved things that you also want to achieve. So if you ask them for stuff, it's gonna help you and improve yourself.
Yeah, and most likely it's only in a family. But in other situations, some people that achieved something, they can also be thinking like, I'm the only one achieving it. I don't want rivalry. I don't want something to be on my level. Then they will either not give advice or give false advice. So that is why advice is called an advice. If someone gives you, it's your choice to follow it or do your thing.
That's true. It's the way you respond to the advice you have. You either do something with it or you don't. Your actions are gonna speak louder than your words.
Yeah. And about the consequences, if you don't trust a person, even though if he's from your own family, if he's a family member, if he gives you an advice, but you think that I must do it my own way, I must figure it out on my own. Um, Also, not a bad way to achieve a goal. Why? If you will do the same mistake as the other did, you will know it on yourself. And when you hear someone else's mistakes, you don't really understand them. Like you can understand them mentally, but you would never understand it on your own experience till you have it. For example, Ahmed and Sebastian, they're 17 years old. They didn't have that real relationship experience. They can understand it mentally on theory, but they didn't have it on like um, practice. I don't know. They don't have the experience to like give someone like not even advice, but they cannot lead this topic or discussion by leading by example because they didn't have it on experience. Sebastian or Ahmed cannot tell someone that, look, don't go further. It will end bad for you because they don't know what's gonna be ahead. They didn't go that way. They don't have the experience,
Like I'm
but
not.
they know that.
uh,
Yeah, but they know that someone else had that experience. They know it on theory. They can give an advice. Look, I didn't have that experience. I didn't go that long. I didn't go that far in a relationship. But for example, my friend or my brother, he went through that, and I saw it with my own eyes. Mm, not, it's not gonna be good for you, and that's not like worth trying to convince a person because he won't listen to you because it's not your experience, it's your friend's or brother experience. He can answer you by telling, I also see a lot of things on the internet. Does it mean that I must follow them? No. That's why Ahmed, Sebastian, Ava, me, we can discuss anything we want, but till we have our own experience in the same topic, you know. Ava is older than you, but she's younger than me, and I don't think you two have the same experience that she has, for example, in a relationship. And I don't think that she has the same experience as me in a relationship. So our opinions will be like different, very different. We can discuss, we can agree something on a theory, but we cannot understand each other like truly because of the inexperience, sorry.
yeah.
You know, the two of you may understand me in the future when you will have the same experience. I can understand every one of you because I already experienced that. Like if you, for example, if Ava will have a hard time in a relationship, she will break up and she will talk about it with me. I will truly understand her because I have experience in this. But if she will talk it with Ahmed or with Sebastian, they will understand her only on theory, and she will know that. She will know that they're not experienced in this thing, and she will not be that comfortable to talk about it with them. She'll be more comfortable to talk it with someone like me who is experienced and who can give an advice, who can lead her, like because he went through that, you know.
Yeah.
For
I
if
have
she
a
if she breaks up and she will feel the pain of breaking up, she will find the same pain in other person that already had that pain, and she'll ask him, how well did you do when you
yes.
had it, you know?
Well, I've got a question. What do you think about therapists? Because they work as a profession.
Mm, same thing as like being a psychologist, therapist. They have their own profession for people who don't have their own opinion. Like 80% of the people nowadays that are owned by the internet or the environment or other someone else's opinion, they need a psychologist, they need a therapist. Why? Because if they don't have their own opinion, the psychologist or the therapist will give their own opinion and they will follow it. Because firstly, they give money uh, for the mental help from the therapist. Secondly, if they give money for something, that means they need something and they believe that they will get it from him. But the 20% of the people nowadays that really don't need a therapist or a psychologist because they're a therapist and a psychologist for themselves because they know how to accept information, they know how to accept life. For example, Sebastian, did you ever see me talking about my, I don't know, private problems with anyone, giving money for some psychologist or therapist to like discuss my life, how to deal with my problems or something? Did you ever see me doing that?
Except from our mother, no.
Mm, I'm talking about private problems, like
Oh,
not
no.
like problems with my like. I have like pain here or a pain there. Not this stuff.
No, I haven't.
Sure. Why?
Because you have your own brain on your shoulders, so
Exactly. Why must I give my life in someone else's hands when I have my own opinion, my own vision? Like Ahmed, like you said, you have your own vision of your life. Uh, you wrote it down on a paper so that you can see it first on a paper that what you want from life. Then you're imagining it step by step. Like, one, I want to achieve this. Two, I want to achieve this. And you're imagining every step. The same thing the
Okay.
therapist psychologist does. The everything that I'm saying to you right now, you will hear it from a therapist or a psychologist. Same
That's
thing. They
true.
will they will ask you to write down everything on a paper. Then they will tell you that how do you see your life? Write down or even draw a picture or something like that. When you can do it yourself, sit down in front of the mirror and you'll see a therapist or psychologist in the mirror. If you'll be the same person like the 20% of the people in the world that don't need a therapist or a psychologist.
I agree, but I want to add some things. Like I think for people that are not like mature enough, I think it's a good thing to go to a therapist because then you're gonna like self-reflect more, and then you might realize that you don't need a therapist because it's gonna make you mature enough in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, I understand. And the same point I'm trying to explain here. Um, that's all in the consequences. What I was talking about, the consequences. If you're not experienced in one thing, you need to move forward. You must not be afraid of making some mistakes, because if you'll be afraid of making mistakes, you'll just stand and you will not move forward. You'll be afraid to make a step forward because you will know that probably I will make a mistake right now. But you need to do that mistake so that you will know that you will not do it again.
Mm-hmm. And you would learn
How
from it.
can you how can you identify the word mistake if you haven't done a mistake?
Yeah, I understand.
How can you tell that I play a good Counter Strike if you haven't played Counter Strike? And by playing good in Counter Strike, you cannot just download the game, play it for the first time, and not die in the first rounds.
Sorry, Mama, was muted. You cannot play good without actually playing bad. So
Yeah, yeah. Even for example, the fighters in boxing or UFC that are undefeated, they will never understand other fighters that have one or two number one or number two in the loss line. They will never understand them. Why? Because they never lost. They didn't have that mistake. But that when they will have, they'll go running to the person that had that lost, and they'll ask for an advice from a loser. The winner that was a winner in his whole life, once he has that loss, he will go and ask for an advice from a loser, because he will know that only a loser can understand him, because he's also a loser right now. And the point here is a person needs a person. You cannot achieve something by your own. You cannot. If you hear stories like, Cristiano Ronaldo, he left his family when he was 11 years old, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, 11 years old. You don't know nothing in life. You don't understand nothing. You're 11 years old. Yeah, you did everything by yourself? I don't think so. You had people by your side.
That's
The
true, but in
difference,
some way
yeah.
you can also like improve yourself on your own. Like if you do things on your own without any friends or people to just like focus on yourself and your thoughts, then it's
Yeah,
more like
that's yeah. But that's not the same. That's called self-improvement. You can
yes,
improve yourself on your own, but you cannot improve your like thoughts on life or experience in life on your own. You cannot understand a person that had a relationship and broke up uh, by being on your own. What you're trying to tell, Ava, it's called self-improvement. I agree,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but if you'll be on your own, people won't come and ask an advice from you about relationships or something like that, because they know that you're on your own. You don't have someone by your side. You don't have relationship. You don't have friends. You're on your own. In some point of your life, yeah, you must be on your own so that you can understand yourself,
Yes.
like your inner self. You know.
Yeah. That's what I
Um,
was trying to say.
Yeah, in Europe, like in Belgium, in Spain, there is no army. Like there is an army, but they're not forcing you to go to the army. No, you have your choice to go or not. Here in Azerbaijan, you must go to the army when you're 18 years old or older. You know, uh, when I was in the army, I found my inner self. Because I was on my own. And because of that, I've understood everything, every mistake that I did in the past that brought me to some point of my life. And actually, that's a very good thing when you find your inner self, and like your inner self is giving you an advice. If you want a therapist or a psychologist, find your inner self. That's my answer.
That's true.
That doesn't mean that Ava, you must go to the army. No.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There,
ways to try and
yeah,
find yourself.
yeah, yeah, and no one can advise you on that. You must do it yourself.
Yeah, you
Even
must
if
find
you will
the
do,
way that's gonna
yeah,
work out for you.
even if you will do a lot of mistakes, you must understand that every mistake must be worth it. But don't do the same mistake twice. That's not worth it.
That's true. Should learn from it.
Ahmed, can you reflect?
I remembered most of the things and I agreed with pretty much all of it. And something about I liked the analogy that you gave about the road and the person who has gone through the road. You go to him because he knows what's happening on the road and he has gone through it. And also a thing about knowing the things in theory, it's two different things when you experience it and when you know it in theory. Because when you know it in theory, you know maybe somebody told you what is on the road, but you haven't actually gone through it, so you don't know how difficult it is to go through it. But you can kind of know what's on the road, and by that it's going to be easier to go through it.
I agree. The same way I cannot reflect on everything he said because I understand and I agree on theory, but I cannot reflect and sit here and say, "Oh yes, this happened to me. I agree," and stuff like this. But yeah,
And think about also the psychologist or therapist or whatever. You can do that to yourself if you know what you're doing. But the thing is, as we said, a lot of people don't know what they're doing, and those people might need to go to a therapist or a psychologist because they might not get the information from anywhere else. And about the paper and all those things about writing, I got that information and I did it. So I know it for myself now. But there are people who haven't seen the same things that I've seen and haven't gotten the same information. So they need to get it from somewhere. And the therapist is like the most obvious place to get it from.
Yeah, good on you that you said that. Why? Um, why these people need therapists? Why these people need psychologists? Why they can't do it like you, like us? Why? Because from their childhood, they didn't have an example. They don't know how to accept something in life, and they don't know what to do with it. Like I call these people like they're lost people, because they're lost in their own mind. They're lost in life. Not that doesn't mean that they're broke. They're like outside, like asking for money or something like that. No, but they're lost.
They're
They're
lost
mentally
here.
unstable. Yeah, they're mentally unstable. Not that they are psycho, but they're mentally unstable. Why? Because they're uncomfortable. They can be very happy. They can smile. They can laugh in front of many people. But once they're alone, it's the worst thing that they are experiencing. Because when they're alone, they don't know what to think about. Because they're lost. Their mind is lost, and they need a person that will have that temporary control of their mind for their own good, and that depends on their trust issues. They must find a person that they can trust, and that person must prove them that they can trust him.
Hmm.
That's true. I think also people that go through that phase will find it hard to talk about something like that with their family members or their friends because as you said they're putting on a smile. So a lot of people feel like if they're going to tell their family or their friends how they feel, they're going to be a burden for them. So if they look for a professional, it's not as bad because that's their job, you know?
Yeah. Why are they putting their smile on their faces in front of their family? Because they're gonna be a burden for them. Why are they gonna be a burden for them? That's the mistake of a parent. Never, never a child will not trust a parent if a parent will be a good parent. You know,
It's
uh,
not only
a
about
good.
the parent being a good or bad parent. Like, if a parent, let's say, is going through a divorce and the kid is seeing all that and is also like stuck with a lot of thoughts and everything, and he's seeing how his mom is suffering, he's not going to be a burden for his mom because she's already going through a lot of stuff, you know? It's not because the
Um,
mom is a bad mother.
yeah, yeah, I understand, but look, it depends on the situation.
Yeah, that's true. And also, like, how
The
you are as a kid and your environment and everything.
Yeah, but the divorce thing, look, if a child is experiencing a divorce, like his parents are divorcing, if he's experiencing that, um, even though a father or a mother is doing well as a parent, like they're giving everything, not financially, but like mentally to their kids, still a divorce is already a proof that the both of them are bad parents because a child must not experience a divorce.
So
They are bad parents from the start,
I
cause
wouldn't
if
blame it. I'm sorry, but like, I wouldn't blame it on both of the parents.
but I do. Why? Um, if you're having a kid, if you're having a baby at some point of your life, and you're already married, you're together, that's responsibility, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if at some point of your life you're divorcing, that means you're not responsible. That means, and a parent is, if a parent is not responsible, that means he's a bad parent.
Okay,
Even
but
though
if
if he's good, even though if he's a good father or she's a good mother, still that makes them both. Doesn't matter if a husband cheated or a wife cheated. Doesn't matter who's guilty in that divorce. But for the child, the both of them, they both are guilty. They are both bad parents. They are both unresponsible. Because if you are having a baby and it's not too late to make an abortion, but if you don't do the abortion and you are sure that you want to have the baby, then even if your wife cheated, even if your husband cheated, you must have the will to forgive, not for yourself, but for the child that you accepted and had a responsibility on. You know, you can
Okay,
have
but
your
let's
own private problems between the two of you and still lead by example for your child, and your child must not know and must not see your private problems that are between you. You can discuss them in any place you want, but not in front of the in front of the child. You know, because if a child is experiencing a divorce, it's already a psychology trauma for the rest of his life. When he will be a grown up, and when he will have a situation when his girlfriend or wife is pregnant, he will remember the divorce thing, and maybe he will do an abortion,
but
or maybe he will have trust issues.
let's say in the beginning of the marriage everything was going well, they had kids. Then later in the marriage they started having problems. Um,
Yeah,
and let's
yeah,
say the dad started beating the mom or whatever, and then the mom is not gonna keep up with that, so she's asking for a divorce for her own safety, but also for the safety of her kids.
yeah.
Because if you,
That's one situation. That's one situation. That's already making. If a man, firstly, if a man is putting a hand on a woman, doesn't matter if she asked for it, like if she deserves it. Yet again, a man never, he
never
must
should
never
put a hand on a woman.
yeah, yeah, I don't respect that. If you have problem with your wife, if she deserve, I don't know, a beating or a death, or something like that, uh, still, if you already have a child and if you're raising him, like I said, you must have that will to either forgive or act at least in front of your child and find that inner you to accept every mistake of your partner and try to work that out because you
Wait,
have
what?
your child.
So if you would, I'm sorry, but I don't agree on this part because if I would get beaten up from my husband, I would like
No,
to
no, no,
divorce
no, no,
because
no. Listen. I wasn't finished.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that if a man is putting his hands on his wife, that's a
Okay.
good thing, and that, the wife must accept that. Sure, it must be a divorce, because uh, if a father is putting his hands on a mother in front of a child, then that's already a trauma, and the divorce will be a less trauma than that. So, yeah, sure.
Right. So that's
Then
why I was
they
like
must.
asking, both sides are not guilty. Well, not always, but in this case, there's going to be a victim, like the mom and also the children, you know? Because earlier you
Yeah,
said both
sure.
of the parents are going to be guilty.
Yeah, sure. But look, um, for example, you're telling that the father is putting his hands on a mother in front of a child. When she was marrying him, before marrying someone or before telling someone that you love him, first you must know the person. You must know, will he ever raise a hand on me? You must know, will he be a bad father? Will he be a bad husband? That's
Yeah, it's
why
actually true.
when people start dating, they don't marry right away. They like have this pre uh, pre-wedding months or years before their marriage. Why? Just because they must know each other to accept each other. If you accepted him and married him and he started to put his hands on you, yeah, I don't respect that. It's his fault. He's guilty. Sorry for my language, as my brother said that it's YouTube anyways, but there's a lady
No, I
here.
can
But
understand
yet,
you well.
yeah, but yet again, he's an asshole, you know? And you're, why you're guilty? Because you accepted an asshole in your life before marrying him. That's
Okay.
why the both of you are guilty when
Okay,
you
now
already
I understand your
when
point.
you
Okay, okay.
already yeah when you're already having a child.
I would like to reflect. I was gonna say the same thing, but 10 minutes ago, but I didn't want to interrupt. Um, when a child experiencing any family issues between two parents, um, mostly mother, because they have the ability to control most of the emotions, and they have this most parenting skills as a woman, and mostly it's the mother who is hiding all of the issues between the husband and the wife for their kids. And
Mm-hmm.
as my brother said, both parents in a divorce are always guilty because in order if something happens in the future in a marriage, you're supposed to know before even marrying the person that they might do it in the future. It can be a different situation. It can be, for example, it could be a mother. Okay, they met before, and a person could have had, for example, drug issues, right? As an example, a mother or a father could be, and she married him, and knowing the fact that it could be an issue in the future, and in the future they divorce because he ended up being going back to his old ways, and now his child is experiencing this. Both parents are guilty in this case. Why? Because she knew
Mm-hmm.
that could happen, but she still married him.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
well,
But I think with um abuse, it's a bit different
yeah, but as I said, as my brother said,
because it's hard to know. Like even if you know a person really well, like I mean,
you
yeah,
can tell if he
sometimes you
has
can
anger
tell.
issues. You can tell if he has anger
That doesn't
issues.
just
Yeah,
happen randomly. It never just
It
happens
doesn't
I,
randomly.
written,
There
yeah,
will be
almost never.
some kind of a tell. There will always be some kind of a tell. Does he use alcohol? Is he impulsive? Is he violent? Like those would be obvious. Like if he's violent, that's like obvious. But does he use alcohol? What is he like when he drinks? Is he kind of impulsive? Is he emotional? Like, do his emotions take control of him? Like these things, they can tell you the future if you know what to look for.
Um,
okay.
I in the past, like 3 years ago, I had a friend, like she was a girl. She had a relationship with a guy. I knew him, not much, but I knew him. Like he wasn't my friend, but we were like walking out together sometimes. Um, one one evening, they all went home, and she asked me to stay with her. She wanted to discuss something about her relationships with me. She considered me like a big bro, something like that, you know. Um, and she told me that he's putting his hands on her, and I didn't accept that. But before doing something with him, like before discussing with him the situation, I asked her, "How well do you know him? Like you're 3 years in a relationship, you must know him very good. Do you know his favorite color, his favorite number, like these small things? But yet again, do you know him well? Do you know what he likes? Do you know what he doesn't like? Do you know what he doesn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in people?" And she couldn't answer any of those uh, of those questions, and that's the uh, that's the thing that I didn't regret to first ask her about that before going to him. And I just told her that, look, you accepted him, but you don't know him. How can you tell me that? How can he put his hands on me when I love him? If you love a person, you love everything about him, and if you want to love everything about him, you want to know everything about him. If you don't know anything about him, that means only one thing: you love yourself in your relationship. You don't love him. And when he raised his hand on you, you realize that you don't love him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the reason why you didn't love him. You didn't love him from the start. You loved your own comfort, your own feelings in your relationships. You like the atmosphere, what was going on between you, but you didn't love him like him himself. Because
Yeah.
you wouldn't firstly tell me about that he raising your hand on you, because it's a personal thing, and a personal must stay personal. Like between you, it's a private thing. What happens in one's family's house must stay there, must not go outside. But once it did, that means that you don't have much of a love or respect to each other. So what you had is not a relationship. You just accepted a guy that was comforting you, and you loved the comfort, but you didn't love him.
You
You
made some
just
fair points.
accept, yeah. Um, and because of that, most girls or boys are acting like a victim after some point of their relationship. For example, a guy raised a hand on a girl, or a girl was having a friend, like a boyfriend. They were just friends, uh, but eventually they ended up not just being friends. And the guy who knew that it would happen started arguing, fighting with his girl. And there are many reasons, but that's the main reason here is lack of mutual respect and true love.
Yeah, I agree.
Because for example, I would never argue with my girlfriend if she asks, not even asks, if she would just like mm, not even tell me, tell her friend that would tell me about some girl that is in my environment, like we're walking out, hanging out. If my girlfriend would be like disrespected or uncomfortable that I'm talking or hanging out with other girl, it won't be a problem for me to tell the girl that I'm hanging out with that we must stop like contacting each other. Um, just stop. I don't want to discuss anything, the reasons and something. Just don't want to talk to you. Goodbye. That's it. Because I don't want to hurt feelings of my girlfriend. I want that she will be comfortable with me, and she won't think that I'm cheating or something like that. Yeah, I'm kind of. I kind of don't like that she will not trust me. Like a normal girl would never think about like, oh, he's hanging out with that girl, so he's gonna cheat with me. Normal girl should not think about that. That's called jealousy. A girl must not be jealous. She must be territorial. The difference between territorial and jealous, uh, when a girl is jealous, she thinks that my man is gonna cheat with that girl. But when a girl is territorial, she's thinking that my boy is not gonna cheat with her. But this piece of trash girl that is hanging out with my boy, I know her thoughts, I know her intentions, I don't trust her. That's the difference between territorial and jealous. And
I used to
So
think.
a girl,
Go on.
if you don't trust the girl your boyfriend is with, then that's being territorial, right?
Yeah, you have a boyfriend and he's hanging out with one girl that you don't like, you don't trust her, and if you think that he will cheat on you with her, that's called jealous. But if you will think that she will make some movements towards him, but he will still
Not
tell her
accept.
that I have a girlfriend, yeah, he won't
Yeah.
accept that. That means you were right about the girl, and you were right about your boyfriend. That's called territorial. You
Yeah.
trust your boyfriend, but you don't trust the girl. And your
Yeah.
reaction is normal, and you're trying to prove your point to your boyfriend. And 90% of these discussions are like they're ending up well because the girl is proving her point, and she proves her point normally. But the girl that is jealous, she's losing control over her emotions, and she cannot explain normally to her boyfriend what's going on because she doesn't understand the situation. Why? Because she doesn't trust her boyfriend. And of course, if my girlfriend won't trust me on numerous occasions while I'm proving my loyalness to her, and she still doesn't trust me, and at the end, I would either break up with her and go dating or sleeping with the girl that she was jealous with, or I would cheat on her with the same girl because what I'm doing is pointless and she still don't trust me. So I'm not losing here anything. I will just go and cheat on her.
Yeah, because there's no point.
Yeah, that's how a boy thinks. And
Damn.
one thing, yeah, and one thing, I'll like tell you a secret about man. Um, in every man's success, there's always a woman. Doesn't matter if she's a girlfriend, if she's a wife, if she's a sister, or just a friend, but there is a woman. No one can convince a man better than a woman. No one can push him better than a woman. Your mother, since you are born till now, till her last breath, they will always push you. They will always try to convince you. It's your fault that you don't understand it. It's your fault that you accept that thing not from your mother, but from some other girl. Yet again, you accept it from a woman, not from a man. A man can never convince a man to, you know, be motivated. They can do it only in gym or some man stuff. But having success in life, it's mostly a woman responsibility. She's the one pushing, you know. And for example, our mother, she was pushing our father till his limits so that he could achieve something. It's all because of her. Yeah, he did everything, like not on theory, he did everything. He was like the engine. But who was at the steering wheel? Who was
No,
driving?
yeah,
Who was pushing the pedals?
the
Who
mother.
started the engine? Who turned on the car? If there's no one in front of the steering wheel, a car won't move. So um, when a girl is in a relationship and if her intentions are serious, she must understand the responsibility of her being in a man's life. It's not only loving him, giving him what he wants. I don't know. in bed or I don't know, cooking for him or something like that. No, I don't want my wife to be at home all the time in the kitchen or washing dishes or something like that. No, I don't want that. That's old news. That's not right. You know, they say that a woman is not a washing machine, is not a dishwasher, and that's right. But eventually they end up washing dishes or doing something at home. Why? Because they didn't mm, understand their responsibility on their shoulders having a man. They have a man, but they don't know what to do with him.
They don't
They're
know how to
just,
drive.
yeah, yeah, they're sitting on the passenger's seat,
Mm.
you know? But if you understand your responsibility, if you know your man well, and if you know his points, like if you know his weak points, if you know his strong points, if you know every side of him, if you know your man well, he will always end up listening you, and you will end up always pushing him forward to achieve his goals. Because your own goal will be helping him achieve his goals. That's the responsibility in every woman that wants to have a successful man. And
That's true.
you cannot do it without true love and respect. Because if you don't do that, you won't be smart enough to care about it.
Hmm.
That's why most of the girls in the internet right now, you can see it everywhere, you know, just randomly swipe the reels and you'll see eventually the shorts of how how girl is talking about, I don't need a man. If my car will break, I'll go to the mechanic, when a mechanic is a man. You know, these only fan girls, these type of girls, they don't accept a man because they don't understand the responsibility.
Mm-hmm. I met
It's always,
yeah, go on.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I met a girl once on internet, right? And she had her name as I hate men. And I was like, "Do you hate all men on earth?" And she was like, "Yes." I was like, "Well, tell me why. Why do you think that way?" She said, "They're all weirdos." I was like, "Each one of them, all." She was like, "Yes." At this point, I told her, "Well, for example, if you get to know me, do you think I'll be a weirdo? If you truly get to know like a person, you'll be like, yeah, all men are weirdos." At this point, I didn't even like continued on debating or whatever,
Uh,
trying to change her mind, but
so, so she's referring that her father is a weirdo, or every family member that is a boy,
all
that
men,
is
I
a man,
guess.
a weirdo.
Mostly people say that if they have experienced
Mm,
something in life with a person, then they would like overgeneralize
yes,
that
exactly.
type of group.
But that's not right, you know. You cannot
I know. Yeah, it's not
judge.
right.
You cannot judge a person by past people. You know. For example, if my ex-girlfriend once cheated on me, I cannot judge every girl just because of her.
Yeah, of course not. But mostly people that are not over it yet still have that mindset. I think once you're over your trauma or healing process or whatever it might be, then you won't have that mindset anymore.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure she has. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
mostly when they get over it, it's late. You know, it's very late.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
It's very late.
How come?
Look, how come?
Yeah, like why? Why is it
Um,
late?
for example. If I'll have the same trauma and I will hate all women, um, that means I will accept my lonely life and I will die without having kids, my own uh, generation,
Yeah, fair enough.
and if I'll accept that, but then when I'll understand that I'm already over it and I was wrong, and I'm like, shit, I'm already 40 years old. What was I thinking?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
And
Also
understandable.
all
depends
good,
on how mature a person is.
Eh,
yeah, but these people they cannot do it on their own. As I told you, every person needs a person and a right person. The lost minded people, if they get a person that will use them, they'll end up very, very bad. But if they'll have the right person on that stage of life, they will help them and they will end well at the end.
yeah,
For example, if my brother will have some issues in trusting people or women because one girl cheated on him or something like that. Uh, I know that he won't be lost because he knows there's a person uh, in his life who can relate to that and who can help him, who can be by his side, who can lead him, who can take him out of this situation, who can heal his trauma, heal his pain, because he would relate to that because of his own experience. The important thing is not forgetting about the people in your environment that care about you. Because at this stage of life, when someone hurt you, you're in that much pain that you forget about everyone and you just like end up with thoughts of killing yourself or being lonely for your life or for the rest of your life, something like that, like teenager things. And most people they just forget about their family and the people that care about them.
they will tend
They
to,
don't see they
yeah,
Yeah,
like
they don't see.
they will tend to go to different people. They'll try to look for someone to talk to when they have somebody ready.
Yeah.
It's like a coping mechanism.
Um,
I think.
Emil, do you know what a coping mechanism is?
um it's like a self-preservation thing that I've explained. Like, you don't have already your own opinion on life. You're just following and doing everything what other people do. Like, you told me that they will go to different people, seek help from them, and they will eventually end up doing everything what the person that they ask help from is doing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you could say it that way. Yes, it's like doing
I
everything
always
to
see it
forget
more.
about the trauma or the experience you had.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. I've noticed one thing. Ahmed is listening, but he's not very reflective to that. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's not talking that much. He's listening very, very good. I think he's just memorizing everything that we're talking about for himself. That's the way I see it. I see the therapist, your inner therapist in you right now that is listening to us, not you, the outer Ahmed that we see, you know?
Oh, how it is for me right now is I hear things, I understand everything, and I agree with everything, and I'm just seeing what you're saying. And when I agree with it, there isn't much to add to it. It's just I think the same way about a lot of the things that you said.
Yeah. Okay, Ava, you're 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
Uh, did you have relationships like not like 1, 2 days, 2, 3 datings, but real relationships like serious?
I mean,
Sorry
it's a
for the
hard
question.
question.
If it's private, we can discuss something else. But just interested.
I don't know. It's kind of complicated because what is serious, you know?
Excuse
I
me?
thought I didn't think it was serious, so like it's not really something to talk about because it was something I had while I was like a teenager and I wasn't truly mature. I still had like a teenager's brain, you know?
Oh, so you had it like 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah, I was like, I would say still a kid, kind of.
Oh, so since then till now you didn't have any relationships.
No.
Okay. You broke up because of some mistake, or you just broke up?
I think we just broke up because we had like different perspectives and not the same thoughts. So I think it's actually a good
Hmm.
thing we did because
Okay.
I think
Okay.
if you don't have the same way of thinking, well, not necessarily thinking in everything, but like in the main things, it's not really going to work out, you know?
There are exceptions like compromise, but
There
I
is.
still agree. Yeah.
But if you don't like agree with like important things in a relationship, I think it's better to just not let it work out, you know, and move on.
Yeah, sure. If it's not late, like you're not married, you don't have kids, it's not late
Exactly.
to break up and find a better person for your life.
Yeah. Focusing on myself is like a thing I'm doing right now. It's way better than like relying on others. Finding my inner peace. It's a journey I'm going through, I would say.
Okay. So, Ahmed, Sebastian, this is your podcast, not ours. What are the topics?
Um, so we're well, you kind of just spoke to about breaking up and the reason and why and how Ava got over it.
Unfortunately, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but it's experience, you know. Um, you must experience these things to talk about it. Um,
That's true.
when you listen about it, yeah, it's interesting. But when you talk about it, like sometimes you
Different.
don't want to talk about it. Yeah, sometimes you force yourself to talk about it just to help others. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
when you if you will experience these things, you will understand.
Hmm.
I know.
I was gonna
But
reflect on the topic we talked before, which was if like sharing, putting the smile on your face, and when you're alone, whatever thoughts getting in, rushing, stuff like that. What if you're scared that you're gonna be judged?
I
Don't
mean,
be.
yeah, because that's just all in your head. It's like I would say social anxiety. There's like a term for it nowadays. Everything has a term. You should like work on yourself and improve yourself and try to not care about others because there's so many people in the world and like you're the main character of your own life. So you should live and like not care about people that much, you know.
And Emil, for example,
Just
You don't have cameras everywhere that follows you, no? You
fair
don't
enough.
have it. You don't have this thing. You're not famous, like, oh, you went outside, you did something, now it's on the internet. No one cares about you except the people that know you, you know? And for example, when you're hanging out with your friends and like, yo, dude, do you see the girl? Go ask for her number, and you're like shy, and uh, you're just like afraid or scared to make the step to go and ask her for her number, and that's sorry, but that's stupid, you know. Why? Because how do you know if you will think about the possibility that she will say no? 90% she will say no because she will see through you that you're not you don't trust yourself, you don't believe in yourself while you ask her the number, you know. It won't be that epic. You will just come, ask her for a number, and she will say no, and you'll leave. That's it. You're not losing anything here, but you can gain something, you know.
yeah,
maybe
you're gaining experience.
maybe Yeah, maybe you will gain the fact that you have her number and you'll start dating. Maybe she's a very good person, and eventually she will end up being your wife, and you will never regret that you had her number. You know, you'll never know until you'll make that step. But you tell that someone will be judged. Okay, for example, you made that step, and she said no, and your friends are laughing, they're judging you, like you don't know how to pick up a girl, something like that.
Those are not
But do they
friends.
know that? Mm, maybe, yeah, maybe not. They can judge you by just joking, kidding with you, not serious, you know. But still, anyway, for you, it's like they judged you, and for you, it's like personal, you know. And
Hmm.
but
Can I add
still,
something?
yeah,
For me, during this like a personal experience, during lockdown when everything started to like be normal again, we started to go out again. It was like really weird because I had this feeling of um everyone looking at me and like it was all in my head, you know. I was like not comfortable going out alone. I used to always like ask my friend to go out with her, but the thing that I started doing then is like going out of my comfort zone. So I started going out alone, you know. That's kind of how I stopped thinking about others. Like you just need to stop being in your comfort zone and like don't think about what other people are thinking because whenever you do a good thing or bad thing, they're gonna talk anyways. So there's no point, you know, in thinking of what others are saying or thinking.
it's the same thing as an introvert will fight with his fears of going outside. Same thing. You must fight your fears that are inside.
Exactly.
Um, for example, that I was talking about, you made that step and the girl said no, or I won't give you my number, and the friend started judging you, something like that. But do they really know why the girl said no? They cannot say that she said no because you cannot pick up girl. Maybe she has a boyfriend. Maybe she's not up to any relationship right now. Maybe she just broke up like 2 3 days ago, and she just doesn't want anything. Maybe she wasn't comfortable on that day to have new people in her life. I don't know. Many
Yeah,
girls, when they say no, that doesn't mean the problem is in you.
there's a lot of reasons. And also,
Yeah,
you making this step and going to that girl is a really good step because it's gonna boost your confidence and you will gain experience. So it's always a good thing to do something out of your comfort zone.
yeah. And you will lack this confidence. The only girl that will end up with you is also a girl that lack confidence. You know, you will never have a girlfriend that is confident with herself that you need. You know, to push you.
Yeah.
If she's
It's
not
I would
confident
say
in herself, she won't be confident in you.
Uh,
Girls, they are better feeling and seeing through you, neither than men. They I don't know why, but girls they feel your confidence
mm,
if you have it, and they feel if you don't have it. You know, girls see through that. Even an unexperienced girl, even a girl that didn't see the outer life, she was always at home. Even these girls, they still feel everything that you're feeling inside. You know.
um, I get all of this because I've experienced it already. I, me and my friends, whatever, we're out to the beach, nice girl, and I asked whatever, but already went through this. That's one thing. But for example, like we went from me saying like talking about problems and being judged for it to asking a girl's number. Um, what I actually wanted to say
But
was like,
that's related.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, it's
there's
it's the same concept. I get it.
yeah.
Um,
Just an example.
yeah, yeah. But for example, how you said you're not comfortable talking to your like about your problems, for example, to your parent. What if you're just not used to do it? Like you're not used
Um,
to speaking about it to your close ones.
I think that's not the problem here. It's not about being used to talk about your problems. It's just a reason why you don't.
yeah, it's
Um,
maybe like in your household, it's not really a thing.
Mm.
Um,
there are
so
many
it never,
reasons. Yeah, yeah, there are many
yeah,
reasons.
like tradition,
Um,
culture, like a lot of
yeah,
different reasons. But if that's
in
the
my
case, you can
case,
try and
yeah,
bring it up, because it can benefit both of you.
in my case, when I was like a child, teenager, yeah, I could talk about things, about my problems, yet I didn't. Why? Because I've like Ava, you said a while ago that you're 20 years old, but still you're just like a kid right now. Like you say it yourself, you accept it, you understand that you're still like living a kid life
No,
right
that's
now.
I meant that when I said when I was like 17.
Um, okay. Um, Yet again, you still understand that you haven't seen life yet, and you still
Yeah,
need
of
to
course.
grow and grow and grow up, you know, and you
Hmm.
cannot consider yourself as an adult uh, till the moment that something happens to prove that you're an adult, to prove
Yeah, I
yourself
know.
that.
I would say that I'm mature in a way, but I'm not mature
Yeah,
enough.
you're still in the way, you know, you
Of
haven't
course,
reached it.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Um, uh, by telling that when I was like 14, 15 years old, yeah, I haven't seen life yet, but in my own way I've already matured, and I was like more smarter and experienced than other kids that were my age. So the reason why I was uncomfortable of sharing my own problems or my own thoughts with someone that doesn't concern mm, my family. I didn't talk about my problems with anyone, not with friends, not with family, nobody. I was just having my own problems, and I was solving it by myself. And maybe that was the mistake that I did, because I haven't realized on that stage of my life that a person needs a person. It's hard for you to do everything when you're alone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't alone, but I was doing everything alone. I wasn't sharing my goals. I wasn't sharing my problems. I wasn't talking
It's
about
also,
anything. Yeah, I was just hanging out with my friends, doing family stuff. That's it. But my own things, I was just doing it alone.
yeah, it's also
Yeah,
really
and
important to choose the person you tell about your goals in life wisely. You need to hang out with like the good people because
Keep your
the
yeah,
environment
better they
good. Yeah.
are, the better they're going to influence you.
yeah. And even when I was 15, I at that age I realized that my problems are not a big of a deal to worry about them, because I'm still 15 and I have a 15-year-old problem things. I just couldn't talk about it with my parents or someone, because these are not the problems to discuss with someone um, for them to solve it, because I can do it by myself, and it's not that important, to tell
Mm-hmm.
anyone about it. Like, if I had a major problem that, yeah, I need an adult, and I will tell my parents to help me out with that, yeah, I would. But these were not that important problems, that
Like you're not
Yeah,
gonna
I
die
the,
if
must.
you're not gonna share them.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
actually, the small problems you had and you went on them, like you solved them yourself, it's actually maybe a thing that made you more mature because you did all that on your own, you know?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But sometimes we do need people, like if it's a bigger problem.
Um, at this stage of my life, um, maybe now I need that kind of a person that will be always by my side and will try to push me, convince me not to give up on something, for me to feel comfortable. Sorry, you're my brother, firstly, and secondly, you're not a girl.
Our mother,
Um,
man. Come on. But
yeah,
yeah.
so that's why maybe I need that kind of a person right now, because everything that I'm doing, it's a bit hard for me to do it by myself. And every time when it's very hard, you think like giving up, but you won't. But still, it's hard, and you realize that it will be better if you have a person by your side that will at least help you mentally.
Mm.
Hmm. I
Like,
don't know if you're,
you already know that you won't give up, but it will be better if someone will be by your side and tell you to not give up. Extra motivation.
Uh, I wanna reflect on that, and I think Emil, we had this situation before. We were on video call, and you were like, remember, you asked my mother, what's up with me, and you were like, and I was like nothing, but you fucking, you looked, sorry for my language, you like you saw through me.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, yeah.
And
He was acting. He was putting smile on his face, but I know. I can see what people feel and what they have inside by just looking them in their eyes, especially if I know the person, and mm, especially if I had that experience. When I see something familiar just by the expression on your face or the eyes, you can tell anything just by looking at a person. Eyes tell everything. That's not like a myth or something, that's a real thing. If a person really understands, if he's an there's a thing called empathy. If you're empathic, you feel how other people feel just by looking them in the eyes, you know. I cannot explain why this happens, but it happens, and always like I get it right, you know. Like the last time when I
It's a
told
feeling.
Mama that,
You know it.
yeah, yeah, and you can lie, you can brag anything you want that nah, everything's fine, but once you understand that no, he felt and he saw, when you understand it, you think about that. No, I should tell him. He already know that I'm not fine.
Hi guys. So we've already kinda behind the scenes cut this out. Emil had to go. Ava had to leave. Stuff coming up. So um, special thanks to them for coming out on the podcast and discussing a lot of interesting stuff. It's a new thing on the podcast, okay, for our podcast especially. Diverse topics, different from self improvement. I mean, actually, also related to self improvement in terms of mental state. We've discussed a lot. So, yeah. If you enjoyed watching this, leave a like and just share this with someone who is maybe going through mentally something. You could help him or somebody. So yeah, Ahmed.
Oh, it was a very interesting episode, a little bit different from what I expected. It was very enjoyable, very nice conversation. And if you liked it, also send it to somebody else who's gonna like it, and send it to somebody who you think this is going to help.
Thanks everyone for watching. See you in the next episode.